Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Rising Stories podcast. I'm Corrine Sandifer, your host and resident business and life coach. On this show, we talk about the stories that have helped us rise in our work, in our businesses, and in our everyday lives. I interview women who share their stories with us about living with intention and purpose. We also discuss all things good and wise. I always ask my guests about their favorite app and what they are absolutely loving these days. If you are new to the show, thanks for joining us. We are in the middle of a Nashville Series, and today we have a very special young woman on the show. She is the newly crowned Miss Tennessee USA 2018, Alexandra Harper. Allie is a Nashville native who also happens to appear on the new CMT docu-series reality show, Music City. Allie shares her journey with us from being a college student to being fifth runner-up to winning Miss Tennessee. Listen as she tells us what she was thinking right before they announced her name. Allie also talks about the confidence and the mental training it takes to compete in a pageant. What makes this win for her a most unique event is that Allie's mom, Sharon, also won Miss Tennessee about 36 years ago. You are going to love this episode. But before we begin, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button on iTunes. This helps others find the show. And don't forget to connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm at Corrine Sandifer on all three. Here is my conversation with Miss Tennessee USA 2018, Alexandra Harper. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi.
Can I call you Allie? Because I know you as Allie.
Yes, please call me Allie. I always confuse people because, my name is Alexandra and everyone knows me as that. But, everyone from high school that knows me, they always call me Allie. So.
Yeah. I know your mom. And so, when I've heard her say, Alexandra, and it's kind of like one of those, when you have your whole name, kind of thing. But,
right.
But I do love it. It's a beautiful name.
It always reminds me of just whenever I'd get in trouble when I was younger and they would call me Alexandra. So, There's kind of a pro and a con to being called your real name.
Yes. So you are Miss Tennessee. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's so fun. I saw the video time and time again and I just cry every single time. You were so touched. Were you just totally, were you sitting there going, okay, I'm going to be okay if I'm not, if I'm the runner-up, where you just kind of, what goes through your mind?
I was definitely not thinking that. I knew that, so 2 years ago I did Miss Tennessee. It was on a whim. I just graduated college. I had never done pageants before and never thought I would. Seriously, I don't even wear makeup. I don't even wear fake eyelashes. I'm just as normal as it gets, and I'm not the typical pageant person. But I did it because I wanted to get my dad off my back, and then I wanted to get my mom off my back about getting a job. So I was like, I'll just do Miss Tennessee, which was so much preparation. It was so overwhelming, and it was a hard experience because I didn't understand how much preparation is involved. And so long story short, I did it. I got top 5 and never thought I would do it again. But I really prayed about it about this time last year and decided I would do it about in June and July. So when I decided I was going to do that, I knew this was the Lord's calling for me. I was just I'm going to do this because I'm going to do this for a reason. And I'm not going to be okay if I don't win.
Right.
Because if I'm going to be standing there, I want to be able to say, I gave this my all. And this is what the Lord's planned for me, to have a voice, to have a platform. So no, I was definitely wanting to win at that moment.
Yeah. And, that's something that you brought up. I don't think people realize the hard work that goes into being in a pageant. Tell people, what's the one thing that you're I didn't expect this, and this is hard work.
Well, I think that on a state level, in a, I know there's America, just for everyone to be clear, there's America and then there's USA. Mm-hmm. So USA is what I am doing, and I'm competing for Miss USA now, but it's so much like a mental game that you have to play with yourself. I mean, of course, there's getting 1,000 things prepared and, being up to date on current events, having coaches, having trainers, going to a ton of meetings and just basically training yourself. But honestly, it's just very mental. I had a breakdown like 2 years ago, and I did it for the first time because, Lord, getting up on stage in a bathing suit
for everybody to see.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone's looking up at you, which is like the most unflattering angle. But I know that sort of sounds silly for me to say, but that was such an overbearing thing for me. I was like, this is so uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable with my body. Because I didn't give it my all then. So I think that honestly, just preparing for something like this, you have to, regardless of how you look, you have to be fully confident in yourself. I mean, it is a mind game just as much as it is like preparing and doing this and, crossing all your T's and dotting your I's. But this is all something that you have to mentally prepare for.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you learn? What did you learn about confidence and criticism? Because you probably got both. I mean, everybody gets both in that situation when you're up on stage.
Well, I got my first dose of criticism because the pageant itself can be streamed anywhere all over the world. And there's a lot of pageant obsessed people that I never even knew this other realm of life existed, but people were streaming it all over the world, and I answered a question. Of course, I chose the one political question out of all, and it was about if Donald Trump should delete his Twitter, and I said, or that Senator Bob Corker said that he should, and do I agree with it? And I said no. I said he's just the same as any of us. He has the right to say whatever he wants over social media, but whether or not people want to agree with that or not, that's their choice. But I received my first dose of heavy criticism when I got back to my hotel that night.
Oh,
so it was a matter of hours, saying that I was a sexist and that I was, against women and because I was for Trump. And it was just, yeah. So, I mean, that came very early. And especially now with the show Music City, a lot of myself is exposed. You have to continuously be vulnerable. So you kind of pick and choose your battles. But right now I'm not really choosing to have a battle or pick a battle. But,
right.
When it comes down to it, it's not like someone's being verbally mean to me. They're doing it over social media. So, I mean,
yeah,
let's call a spade when I say that that's just cowardly. So I'm not going to have to engage in that.
Right. They're just, there are trolls. There are people that are just, like you said, that they're obsessed. And, I think that you just kind of have to have a thick skin and you have to be smart about how you are conducting yourself and who you're answering. And I think that's in every situation, even for people who are working in an office, you kind of have to go, I don't think I'm going to engage in that conversation. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what it comes down to is just that, these days especially, and I say this without any offense to anybody, but it's very easy to offend someone. Mm-hmm. And I mean, anything that you say, it's easy to hurt someone's feelings and to have someone come at you because they're picking apart every single thing you say. But I think that for me personally, it's just easier for me just to tell the truth, to speak the truth. I can't really think over my answers when I'm asked something, especially on the spot. So if I'm going to receive criticism for what I say, then so be it. But it's what makes me me.
Yeah. Do you do they have a lot of political questions? Do you think you'll get another one at the Miss USA? Or
if I make top 5, which we're all going to pray that I do, that would be a huge accomplishment. But I am sure that I will choose the one political question. I mean, of course I would. Even when I did Miss Tennessee 2 years ago, I chose the strangest question of all. It did not even make any sense. And I don't even know what I said, but honestly, I just have a knack for choosing that one question.
Yeah. I can imagine. I mean, I have the same kind of luck, but that would be, hopefully you won't get that. And hopefully you'll get me. We're praying you're getting in the top 5 and win, really. And then that you don't get the crazy question. Yeah.
Yes, please. Let's all hope.
So you mentioned you were on the reality TV show Music City.
Yes.
I've been watching. And I'm like obsessed with
Yeah,
Jackson and Jessica.
Yes.
Okay. And the whole non-kiss thing, that was some good stuff. The whole kiss thing. That was good. You mean,
like my reaction to it?
Yeah, he's so sweet. I mean, like, I mean, I think that was a good thing. Everybody needs to watch the show because you're in it. And what role? You're just being his cousin, right? Just kind of explain to people what the premise is.
Yeah. So Adam DeVello, he's the producer. He created The Hills and Laguna Beach, which were two of the largest reality shows to ever hit television. And he wanted to do something in Nashville and follow a few people that are following that Nashville dream, that music dream. And I'm not one of those people, but my cousin, Jackson, who's like my brother and my best friend, he has dabbled with it. And when I say that, like when I was Skyping with the producers way back in like June of last year, I was the one who told them, y'all need to get Jackson to sing because he's good. And so that's kind of why they connected him with it. And then, so yeah, it just kind of unraveled from there. And they wanted to follow my journey in a quick little pace to Miss Tennessee. And they were very, they loved the family dynamic that we have, and not just me and Jackson, but my whole family. My mom hates it when I say this, but I always kind of call my family like the Kardashians of the South, because we all live within 5 miles of each other, and like there's like 5 cousins, and there's 3 sisters, and they all look alike, and they're all from Winchester, Tennessee, and so I mean, they really loved the family dynamic that we have, and so they followed me up until Miss Tennessee and also afterwards, and which everyone is seeing right now if you're watching. And so me being Jackson's cousin is a huge part of it, but there's also like 2 separate storylines that are going on there.
Yeah, I do watch a little bit of the married couple. Is it?
Yes, Rachel and Carrie.
Yes, Rachel and Carrie. But I don't know if you know this, but I lived the whole musician's wife, so I don't really want to relive that.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So I just watch you guys and I'm like, oh, okay. And then but I do, it's really good stuff. And I love that it's, reality TV, but it's, I think it has some meaning. I mean, there's some good substance and good stuff going on behind, and then I saw your mom and I was like, so I think they need to do a show just on you guys, like, and your mom and your aunt. And
they've always said, like, the producers were just like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to do like a spinoff series of your mom and your aunts and just do like a cooking show, because it's so funny. My mom, she was so mad at me. I was like, hey, I really want to do just like, I want us to be talking and I want them to film it. Like, this is the night before the pageant. Like, I really want you to be involved with this. And she was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm so mad. So, she got ready and everything else. And she was like, I hate you for wanting me to do it. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And of course, when we started talking, she was like, da, 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 da. I mean, she was just going back and forth, and she was so great. She was so natural.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really love how the show captures that. And I love it how it's not, a bunch of drunk teenagers being in a like same house together, or like in a hot tub, like talking about crazy things. It's a married couple who legitimately had marital issues and who split up and got back together, and they have a 2-year-old son. It's, people that have moved here, and it's sort of focusing on that aspect of the older generation that's trying to make it. So I think that's very respectful. And I think that Nashville likes seeing their city be portrayed in such a beautiful light.
Yeah, it's so much more. Like I said, it's got substance more than just like people in a hot tub and just kissing all the time. I mean,
making out and like talking about crazy things. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of Nashville people were really I say Nashville people, but I am one. I mean, I'm from here, but I think that everyone was very skeptical of this because it's a reality show in Nashville, and every single one of them has failed. And they just keep on saying, we canceled the show Nashville. We never did. But they were very skeptical about the fact that it's not going to portray Nashville in a positive light. And I think it has. It has. I mean, it's beautiful how it's shot. I'm very proud of that, being from here. I'm very proud of how they make Nashville look.
Yeah, because what people don't know is we've had an influx of like people from all over. And so it's really changed kind of what we know Nashville to be. And it's, very based in, country music. Family is very important to all of us. And so we want to continue that. And I love that, they do show your mom and you've got your cousin on there. And so I love all that. I think it's got some good, it makes for good TV. I love it. I mean, I just enjoy watching you guys. So what's important to you these days as you're doing all this stuff? What's going on?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, what's important to me is honestly, it's like staying sane, and staying balanced. I don't really have like a set schedule anymore. Like I'm a very routine person, and it's all gotten messed up. I mean, in the last 2 months, I've traveled to 6 different states, like New York twice, LA, South Carolina, Atlanta, and Florida. I mean, it's just been insane. And the majority of it's been for appearances with the show. And then it's been having to juggle this, which I didn't know was ever going to happen, like everything with the show. And then also preparing for Miss USA and being Miss Tennessee. And so it's juggling basically 3 different lives.
That is
my life and this show, and, heavily trying to promote it and get the word out. And then there's also, which is my most important job, is being Miss Tennessee and representing the state and giving to the community. And it's been definitely difficult, but I think that it's the most rewarding thing. I mean, these opportunities that have come have it's just been a blessing. I mean, there's some days that I just like look and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is like unbelievable. Like, how in the world was I blessed enough to have these opportunities come to me? But right now, I think what's important to me is just sort of keeping a balance between my family and, my life, and also just trying to figure out everything else in between.
Yeah. Well, I think, I'm a firm believer that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And obviously, with prayer and everything else, you can handle this. So just keep right. that in mind. I know sometimes it feels like it's like you've got like 3 or 4 different full-time jobs because it's so much.
Yes, and I haven't even really mentioned my other jobs. Like I have like 4 or 5 other things that I do just like on the side. But
you're a business owner. You like do beauty blogging and.
Yeah. And I'm also a personal assistant, and I create newsletters and social media content for a public figure and a few other people in their businesses. And so there's so much going on, but honestly, like, it's so unbelievable because this time last year, I was writing for a country music news website. My boss was in New York City. I never met him, and I really hope that he never listens to this, but he never paid me on time. He right now is out of business. And Gene, if you're listening to it, sorry, but kind of deserve it. He did not appreciate country music. He didn't even know who anyone was. And I was just thinking, and I had to quit because I was like, I'm not getting paid.
Right.
And I was just thinking, what am I doing? And then all this stuff has happened. So it's so unbelievable, like how the Lord works and what he does and what he brings to the table. And you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Here's some fun questions for you. Number 1 is, when you go to buy a top or a blouse, where do you go? It could be online or brick and mortar.
So Dillard's is my place. I love anything Gianni Beanie. That is like my main designer at Dillard's. He's amazing. Anything he touches is fabulous, and it's elegant and timeless. And locally here in Nashville, I love J.S. Fields and Company. One of my good friends, Stephen Fields, he's also a sponsor of mine. He owns it. And it looks like just a salon on the outside, but on the inside, it's amazing clothes, and everyone has to go.
Ooh, I have to try that. I'm going to have to go check it out. Is it in Nashville? It's in Nashville.
It's in Brentwood. It's like minutes away from BA.
Oh, okay.
It's right by the crepe place and
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and
it's
UAE.
like right outside. And UAL.
UAL, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, that's close. Yeah. Gosh, I could probably walk there.
I know.
Yeah. The other thing is, what is your favorite restaurant? And it could be Nashville, Brentwood, Franklin.
So right now it's Barcelona.
I've heard of that. And did y'all have that on the show? Was that on the show?
Yeah,
Did I see?
actually, yeah, they did film there. And it's funny, I'm going there tomorrow night and Saturday night.
What do
I'm
you
like,
get there? Because there's like, it's like a tapas bar, isn't it? Like,
yes. Lord, what do I get there? So they have this chickpea dish, which is fabulous. And then they have these like goat cheese balls, which are so unreal. And I try to ignore them whenever I go, but then I end up getting them because they're obviously fried. And anything fried to me is just like heaven. But any of the dishes that they have, their broccolini is really great. Their Brussels sprouts are amazing. I don't know. Anything they have. So great. And I love it how you can get like 4 of everything and your bill is still like $40. So
yeah, you can just, and you can order for the table and everybody I love that.
Yeah.
I love eating that way. Just kind of order a bunch of appetizers and that's my favorite thing to do because then you can try everything.
I love it. I'm going there both nights this weekend.
Fun.
I'm not even picking it up.
Okay. One more is, what are you loving these days that's like saving your life? Like, this is a great invention and I love it. It could be anything from your favorite mascara or something, whatever you ordered off Amazon that you think, oh, this is awesome.
So one thing is just like a very generic nude lip liner. I'm using one because I stole it from my mom and it's Lancome, but honestly, like who wants to pay like $22 for a lip liner? I've also used like anything from Walgreens. It's like a nude lip liner and they save your life always and always line the very outside of your lip. Secondly, I'm using an exfoliator from Kroger and it's $1.99 as in like $1.99.
No
and
way.
It's a generic like Kroger brand of that St. Ives or something, like it's like an exfoliator that everyone gets and it looks nice, whatever. And this one is just the same. And quick tip, make sure that you do it like 3 times a week on dry skin with no water. So just like gently exfoliate with that. It will help so much. It will make a huge difference. And the third thing would have to be lip scents. I don't even know the color that I have right now, but it's kind of like a neutral and a coral mixed together, and it has saved my life. So those are the big things that I'm obsessed with right now.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. So lip sense it's that tinted lipstick.
So it's like one, you do the color 3 times, you have to go the same direction, and then you wait a second, and then you do the gloss. It does not come off. Seriously, even if you use a bright red and then you kiss your hand and it does not come off.
Then that doesn't come off. Oh gosh, yeah.
But also include a remover with it too, so you can like remove and it comes off so easily. But it's outstanding. Like I've used it at like 7 a.m. and it doesn't even do anything until like 5. It might start to flake off, but it's outstanding.
Nice. That's good to wear. You just like when you've got to go somewhere and traveling too. I was thinking about when you're traveling, it's hard to like zip in and fix your face and stuff. It's easy to just throw that lipstick on. I use a tender and it's kind of dark, but I blot most of it off and then it's perfect and it just stays like that. I just need like a little bit of a shine and then I go. So yeah. Well, this has been so much fun. I want to ask you one more question, and that is, what are you looking forward to at the Miss USA? The Miss USA. What are you looking forward to?
Oh my gosh, so many things. So what people don't know is that we are there for like 12 days.
Oh wow.
We're not there. People think that like we just show up on like the final night when it's like aired on Fox on May 21st, that like we just show up and we're just ready. No, this is like a 2-week process of where we're rehearsing and shooting promo shots around the city and, going to hospitals and having events so it's just like a huge huge thing. So there's so many things that I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of girls. I'm looking forward to traveling and just kind of getting away and focusing on wanting to focus on, and I'm looking forward to hopefully winning. I mean, that would be a goal. Like,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, like if the Lord's willing. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. It's a crazy thing, and it's such a blessing that, and such like a neat thing that my mom and I have this in common.
Because we didn't talk about this. She won 36 years ago. The Miss Tennessee.
How long ago?
I think that's what it said, 36 years ago. That's a long time.
It was in 1981. Yeah, I guess that's right. Wow. Yeah. I mean, and it's weird how she won in 1981. So like 81 and then 2018.
Yeah.
It's just like a strange thing. But I guess I technically won in 2017, but I'm called Miss Tennessee 2018. Mm-hmm. But we're the only mother-daughter that's ever won from the same state, ever.
I was going to ask you if y'all are the only ones.
The only ones, which is so nuts. And
wow.
I mean, if you would have said for $1 million, Sharon, which is my mom's name, do you think that Allie will ever consider doing Miss Tennessee? She would have said absolutely not. And she actually never pushed me to do it. She never in my entire life. I had so many people, so many gay men. All my friends are just fabulous gay men. But like so many people that pushed me throughout my entire life to do this. And I just said, no way. And I mean, why not? So it's, that's kind of what my advice is to everyone else is do something that scares you. Because this terrified me to do it again. And it truly improved my self-confidence that I had in myself. There's no way that it couldn't. I mean, mm-hmm. And it also just proved my skills of communicating with others and like staying up to date on like worldly events. And it's changed my life. And I'm not just saying that because I have to. I'm literally saying that it's changed my life and it's opened doors and it's brought so many opportunities that I never thought were possible.
Yeah, I don't think people understand, what the backstories that you girls have to, you do have to be up on current events just in case you get that one question or another question that requires you to, really think on your feet. And that doesn't come easily. It takes practice, Yeah,
I mean, it's terrifying. I mean, it's the most, I've always said this, but, it's the most vulnerable. And I have studied broadcast journalism. That's what my major is. So like I've been in the middle of thousands of people with a random camera trying to set it up and like embarrassing myself in front of people, like trying to talk and like, do these crazy things. But regardless of all of that, this is the most vulnerable experience I've ever had. And the most vulnerable thing that anyone would ever do is be in front of other people and open themselves up and answer questions and be in a bathing suit and then just, basically expose yourself to the world. So, I hope that people understand that this is not necessarily a pageant anymore. This is a huge PR job and a huge, mm-hmm. Responsibility to change the state that you're in and to make a difference, to get involved with charities and community efforts to spread awareness about anything that's going on that you think is worthy of. And but yeah, I think that there's so much more that goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah. Now, do you guys required to take a cause to this pageant that you're supporting?
Yes. Technically, yes. We always want to choose like one specific one, and mine is Second Harvest Food Bank. I've been volunteering. Yeah. I mean, I've been volunteering for Second Harvest ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I honestly did not even know that I was volunteering for Second Harvest because every single year around Christmas, I go to the same apartment complex. It's called the Hadley Apartment Complex in Nashville. And it's called Feed the Need. And we pass out 2 boxes to all these residents for their holiday meals. And I've done it every year ever since I was 8 or 9 years old. And these people have actually watched me grow up, which is so same people. I just went a few months ago around Christmas. The same people are living there. And this entire thing, like Feed the Need, is sponsored by Second Harvest Food Bank. So I remember going there and volunteering with my friends after basketball games in elementary school. And yeah, I've always been involved there. But, 1 in 7 families in Middle Tennessee are hungry with food insecurities. And, it takes an army to volunteer and to pass out meals, to box meals, and to get the word out. So it's a really solid organization that's making a huge difference in the community of Middle Tennessee with 46 counties that they cover.
Wow. Yeah, it's a great organization, and they do so much that we don't even know. Like, you didn't know you were volunteering for Second Harvest. I think it would be great if you won. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers and praying that you win and that you can take this nationally, because I think feeding the hungry and the marginalized is a great thing. I mean, if you don't do that, if you're not helping your neighbors, what are you doing,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And that's kind of something I wanted to touch on for the reasons of like children being hungry and people being hungry. It's an uncomfortable topic for everyone. And there's actually no one in the USA organization that's ever had a food bank or hunger as their main cause.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, like and so I think that it's something that's very localized. And whenever you think about people being hungry, at least my mind automatically goes to a foreign country.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's in our backyards. I mean, there's 9 million pounds of food every single year that is delivered from Second Harvest. So it's fascinating. And there's so many volunteers that are needed, and there's 2 million meals that are provided to people. And so they do a very good job of it. So I'm very lucky to be able to partner with them and be their ambassador for them.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and good luck. We're going to be praying, crossing our fingers, and hoping, and just watching and waiting and cheering you on May 21st. Where is it? Where does it take place?
It's just like so weird, but it's in
secret?
Shreveport.
Oh, it's in Shreveport?
I know.
They pick
we were hoping it would be in Vegas.
Ooh, Vegas would have been good. Shreveport, well, yay, Shreveport. Okay,
it's a very random thing. People are kind of shocked, but yeah, it's in Shreveport.
Has it always been in Shreveport?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
It's been all over the place, but this year they chose Shreveport.
Okay, well, we'll be watching.
Please do. May 21st.
Thanks so much for coming on. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, her skin is so beautiful that I am going to run to my Kroger and get that exfoliating scrub right now. I hope you enjoyed hearing Allie's story. Please visit the show notes at CorrineSandifer.com to read more about Alexandra Harper, Miss Tennessee, USA. Also, please consider supporting Rising Stories podcast by purchasing books and products mentioned on this show with the links provided in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening, and keep rising in your story.